Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, talking to you about the event that just happened, Giants Live Finals. Exciting event, featured 11 athletes. The only one that we got wrong was there from the preview show I did was on Els of South Africa. Everyone else was there. Everyone else looked ready to go. Tom Stoltman was a late replacement for someone. Yeah, a lot of the people seem to be saving themselves for the show in Dubai, which I think has like 150,000 euros in prize money, and I think around 70 for the winner is what I've heard. Those are all just numbers. They could mean, they could be right, they could be wrong, but I think it's the most money of any show that there's been in a long time. So the Arnold's about $80,000, and pretty sure 70,000 euros is more than that. So a lot of athletes are going, I want to go get paid in the desert. But 11 great athletes showed up. They did 5 events. It was very fast. First, I want to talk about, which I didn't know when I filmed the preview, because it wasn't really advertised. I think it maybe was done last minute, not sure. There was a live stream at officialstrongman.com. Officialstrongman.com is also where you input your scores for the official Strongman games and can qualify for World's Strongest Man in your weight class or World's Strongest Woman, or the Giants Live qualifier, the official Strongman games. I don't know what they call the heavyweight class. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff. They're putting out a lot of content. There was a lot of talk about it during the live stream. So basically, they're going to be planning to live stream all the Giants Live events there, as well as just having articles and tech tips from World's Strongest Man competitors and more. Plus, they said archives of all the past shows, so it'd be, which I think paying about $10 a month is worth having all those archives, especially if it's categorized neatly. It beats watching grainy videos on a HIT Strongman on YouTube, I guess. And maybe there's some shows on there that they should have access to everything. They own the rights, so maybe there's some that haven't been uploaded illegally to YouTube yet. Plus, those can be taken down at any time. It was interesting. They kept talking about, here's what official Strongman will do, and you should go sign up on the live stream, but everyone watching the live stream is already signed up. Anyways, so we had a max axle, car walk, giant train axle deadlift, which was 380 kilos from normal deadlift height, maybe a tad lower. There wasn't an official ruling. We didn't put a tape out, but it looked, lower shin on most of the guys, at least at the highest 9 inches, which is standard height. Duck walk into a chain drag, and an Atlas Stone series, which they say it's 120 kilos to 200 kilos. I don't know if everyone's just gotten so strong that 200 kilos is just nothing anymore. Maybe that's the case, but even last year it seemed like everyone had a really easy time with whatever series of stones these are. And the same held true this year. So on the max axle, the big talk was, are we going to see a world record from anyone? Everyone looked pretty good through 165 kilos. Most everyone was still in 180. A couple guys were out. 195 pretty much saw everyone fall off, except, I'm going off memory here, Martins Lisi, Iron Bibi, and Zydrunas Savickas. I think maybe Kilzakowski hit it as well. I don't 100% remember if he did or he maybe just missed it. Anyways, then it went straight to 207, which Z missed. He looked pissed. His 195 was awesome. He said later, when he withdrew from the contest, that he's suffering a knee injury from that, where he fell with the log. He kind of tweaked something in his knee a little bit. He fell with the log a couple weeks ago, going for a world record at the Ultimate Strongman Team Show. So he wasn't using any leg drive at all, and I assume that's why. At first I thought he was just trying to show Bibi, who was pressing the same way, just getting it straight to his shoulders and just hurling it up. He's just trying to say, like, hey, you might be 20 years younger than me, but I don't need to use my legs either. But that'd be uncharacteristic of Z. I think it's just that his knees bothering him, so leg drive might not be in the cards. But yeah, he missed the 207, and then Bibby hit it fairly easily. It's weird. Bibby is so strong, and I get a lot of feedback saying I discredit him or I don't give him enough credit, and I really want Iron Bibby to do well in these contests. I think he's great for the sport and he's a fun prospect. But if anything, this weekend just showed he's extremely raw. He has a ton of potential, but there's a lot missing to make that be seen as well. Eddie Hall kept commenting that he really needs to work on his conditioning and his mobility. And Eddie Hall, I don't think is, I think people don't give credit for as much, but he's not exactly what you would think as a mobile strongman. So if Eddie Hall's telling you that you need to go work on your mobility, you probably need to go work on your mobility. It's crazy to see someone attempting a world record when they're not that technical at the event and they're kind of manhandling the weight, but they still kind of look like a novice with it at the same time. It's weird. It's like you're almost more impressed in a way, but it's not efficient. So yeah, he's so damn big. His turn, it's hard for him to turn over in the axle, and he just, as soon as he gets it straight to his chest, he tries to press it right overhead, and you see him lose his balance sometimes. And that's pretty much what happened. He just couldn't get it from here to here. I think he performed really, really well at this event last year when he spent a couple weeks in England prior to the event and worked with Darren Sadler and other, accomplished technical strongmen, some of the best in the game. Just going over the technique on the stones, everything, helping him with his workouts, day to day, and that seemed to really help. And I think that's really what he needs. He obviously presses a ton of weight, does a bunch of stuff, but it's for someone like him, that stuff's easy. Putting up, just doing big presses and getting stronger, getting the technique down on the axle clean and the transitions and how to carry a chain and set up for this event, be conditioned enough to get through a fast ramp show in 5 events. He needs to be training with more people that are experienced to take that talent and mold it. That's what I feel. But yeah, he missed 217. Looks like he definitely has more potential in there. It's just you need to do those technical things, and for some people, those will never happen. I hope it does. I really hope it does, but he's still, that was the thing before this weekend. Is Bibby the real deal, or is he just this raw talent with tons of potential and needs technique? And we've been saying that for 2 years now, and it's still the case. He's gotten stronger in all the things, and all the same things that he's great at, but he's still just lacking that conditioning and mobility and technical ability on the different events. And there's so many different events in strongman, you can't have a weak one. He's fast on the car walk. He's very fast. Shows he has the thing, but yeah, he needs more access to implements and more season training. Competitors, like if he could work with, even Eddie is similar, where he's just brute strong, gym strong, and he improved on those things. So if he could do that same path, but Eddie's also picked the brain of everyone in the sport very well. So he pretty much needs to do those same things, and he could be great. And I hope he does. Anyways, so he won the axle. All that said, he still won the axle and got all the points. Axle deadlift. So there's a lot of debate where there's 360 or 380 kilos. I was told by people that were working the contest that it was 380 kilos, which is right around 800 pounds. So I'm going to have to say it was. I think the big news was Martins Lisi's hit 8 reps. Sorry, children. What the fuck? That's insane. Run a max calculator on that. 8 reps at 380 kilos. On an axle. Looked like he could have done 10. That is insane. Martin's like slowly like probably the second best deadlifter in Strongman now, like other than Thor. He might be. Maybe he challenged Thor. His deadlift's looking crazy. So he won the event. Shivlikov came second. Kilzakowski if that was for sure 380, his deadlift has improved tremendously. He was getting a lot of leg drive, using a lot of quad off the bottom, taking stress off the low back. I think he got 3 or 4 reps, which would be great for him. The other news was Konstantin Janashia said he put on 20 kilos, which is like 45 pounds. And he just didn't look like he's adjusted to that weight. It looks like, I'm sure he's like gym strong better, but he was not the Janashia that we saw last year at this event. He wasn't, like, his deadlift wasn't as good. He just looked like he couldn't get into position. He wasn't used to that new weight yet, so he has to, hopefully he, brings that all together for like Europe's Strongest Man and Worlds, etc. next year. But yeah, he's probably full on in the off season, and he didn't look as good with the added weight. His deadlift, you'd think he'd be right up there, and honestly suffered. Didn't look comfortable. Didn't look like he had his positioning down. But yeah, when you put on 40 pounds in a year, that's going to happen. It takes some adjustment. What else? Then Sojournis and Bibby were the last to go because they got 1 and 2 in the thing. And, Z, he got, 2? I think they both got 2. Bibby, it flew off the floor and he just couldn't get comfortable again. I just think it really gassed him. Going. I think that takes a lot out of him, and he doesn't. When it shows this fast, he doesn't seem. He's not recovering in between events. He's so big. You need that overall cardio base and conditioning to be able to recover in between the events. But I think 2 reps even was a good weight for him. But he just looked like he could pull 5 if he was able to get his positions right. His straps were coming loose. Again, those are technical mistakes. You can't blame equipment. The seasoned athletes don't have equipment failures. That's just part of, knowing what works and what doesn't. The box, either they're lifting off these boxes and the weight shifted, but then again, the seasoned competitors know to kind of, keep it in line, knowing that they can't let their weight shift too much. It's also hard for him to stay in that bottom position, strapped in. He just didn't look comfortable down there. Z, I think the knees bothered him a little bit, and his hip or something. Didn't look good. And what really sucked is they tied for last in that event. So they had to go first in the duck walk chain drag. And to his credit, Bibby looked really good in that. He just ran out of gas halfway through the chain. Z kind of similar. He looked pretty fast. So I think they ended up last in that event, those two. But they looked good overall. They're like 5 minutes later after deadlifting 380 kilos for reps, they got to carry a duck walk and then drag a damn chain and run back in between the events. So that was tough. Kilzakowski just absolutely smashed the event. Like I said, Bibby was really fast with the first implement, ran back fast, was keeping up with him about halfway through, and then just you could tell the quads gave, and the conditioning wasn't there. Adam Bishop just looks so technical. His chain drag, I want to go back and watch just because he's not the tallest guy, and that's a tall guy event, and he was by far the fastest with that chain. So I want to see what kind of tips you could pick up to kind of give to my own athletes or other people for advice. So if you're looking at chain drag, you have a chain drag coming up and you want to get better at it, go and watch his video, because that was like, he shouldn't be the best at that event, and he was, and he won the event. And that's when he started to get, he started to kind of go. He started to go. Let me pull up some more notes here. But yeah, he won the event, looked great. Janashia's mid 35. Lisi's was right up there too. And Lisi's had like a 5-point lead after 2 events, which is really good. And then they went into the car walk, and Kilzakowski did it in about 12 seconds, I think. Absolutely looked like he's flying. Shows how fast Lawrence Chalet is, because he's like, I got a world record for sure. And they're like, no, you weren't you were far off the world record pace. And he's like, really? Shit. But he still won. Let's see. Yeah, Bishop had another good event, getting fourth. And then Belsack actually got second in that event, and Bibby got third. So yeah, Bibby's very fast in a straight line. On yoke, he's very fast. Frame carry, fast, but doing the medley is just not conditioning enough. Wasn't up there for him. And Sojournis pulled out after this event. He said, "I will be back." Pretty much as good as Arnold has. And this is where Martins, I think, got seventh in the car. He looked stable. Just looked like he wasn't really pushing it. I know it's a new event. He's never done it. I don't believe. He just lost some points there. So it ends up going into the stones that Martins has a half a point lead versus Kilzakowski. And I just want to point out that this is now becoming the best rivalry in Strongman. You could say Thor, Shaw is up there. Shaw and Zadrunas had such a good rivalry for a while. There's, of course, some of the Marius versus the world. But they're both young. It's just kind of, there's debate on who do you think is going to win World Strongest Man first, not who's going to win it someday. Which one of them is going to win it first, meaning they both will someday. But Martins, Lisis, and Mateusz Kilzakowski, they're both, young, and they're similar and at one point, but different at the same time. And they're just trading back these wins back and forth. And, other than at the big contests, like the Arnold and Worlds, Martins has been getting the best of Kilzakowski. So I think Kilzakowski looked like he doesn't look happy when he loses to Martins. He looked really happy at the end of this one. So they had half a point. Tom Stoltman, of course, had a great stone run. Lawless, but Tadas Lawless, if you're a short guy and you complain about stones, they have really high platforms, and his technique was superb. He just launches them up. You don't need to be this tall when you have so much force that the stone leaves your chest at the end. So any short people, go watch his stone run. But you also note, make sure to place your stones once they're up there. Just throw them up and then just go reach down, because that stone rolled back down, and his third stone rolled down, and then he was around his fourth stone, and it just fell right next to him. That could have been very bad. Very bad. Not good. So I guess this is something he did in the past. Eddie Hall commented that he had done that before. He just really, just make sure to set your stones. So that was unfortunate to watch, because he's having a good run. He had a pretty good overall contest. And then, it really came down to, at the end, Adam Bishop had to load all five to secure third. He was just all around just very, very rock steady. No major mistakes. Always staying at the top. Had the one event win, of course. His first podium finish at Giants Live. I'm sure all the UK fans are happy to see that. Eddie Hall commented and said that he was honestly surprised. So that's always got to feel good. But yeah, I think he's a great talent. He's had a couple of injuries. Very smart competitor, and had a good contest in him. But third, it came down to Martins and Kilzakowski, and that is a stone run you need to go back and watch. Kilzakowski posted one on his Instagram. Of course, you can watch the replay on officialstrongman.com if you pay for the membership. And he did it in 16 seconds, and Martins was right behind him. It's the only difference was Martins really steadied a couple stones and took an extra second, half a second, and that's all it did. It was he one motion 120 kilos to 200 kilos and did them all in 16 seconds. That's faster than I believe than Boar's ever done that stone series. Absolutely amazing. Takes the win. Seems super happy to get a win at a major contest. Kilzakowski. And Martins just right behind him, ends up half a point behind in second. Great contest overall. Crowd seemed into it. There's good. The live stream was good. I like that immediately it's available to go and rewatch. Sometimes with the time zone differences, and it's hard. It's hard also to sit down and watch Strongman for like 5 hours. It was ran really fast. I think the thing beginning to end was around 4 hours, so, or maybe a little less. So they did a great job with that. They're pimping officialstrongman.com a lot. I think it could be a very good thing. The commentator that did most of the live stream, I think he's a presenter for some like Channel 5 or something shows. So it'll probably help bring more mainstream people over that he's doing it. I think he does a good job overall. When it was him and Eddie Hall commenting, I think Eddie actually does a very good job as a kind of doing the color as a commentator. When Eddie Hall wasn't there and he was just, he had like some random, you know, not random, but other people in Strongman. It was more set up like an interview, and he was talking to them about stuff, and they weren't even really focusing on what was going on in the action. I think that kind of stuff was done pretty last minute. So going forward, if they do have like him and Eddie or him and someone that's doing color, and he just keeps the flow going, and they have someone who's presenting what's actually going on in the field, talking about, oh, well, this guy's, you know, knows the athletes, this guy knows this event, this guy knows that event. I think it would be really good, and if they're going to stream all these contests, it's definitely worth $10 a month to me. If you're watching this, I'd assume it's worth $10 a month to you. And also, Eddie mentioned multiple times that the money from that is going to go back into the athletes, trying to get them, you know, so, you know, if they're putting content up there, like they're putting up their training videos and writing programs and articles, I'd assume they're getting paid for that work. And, you know, if there's more money coming into it, they're going to get, there's more of a pot to go to it. Of course, you know, it also takes a lot of money to put productions like that live stream on. Overall, I think it was great. You know, hopefully this builds, and for the next Giants Live, it's all set up, and there's a little bit more promotion. You know, it starts there needs to be like a steady place, like here is where the live stream is going to be, and everyone knows it. It's going to be at officialstrongman.com. And then once, it's hard to kind of, people that are casually watching the sport and fans of it, to know, oh, where's this one going to be? Oh, it's on Flow Elite. Oh, it's on here. Oh, this one's on, you know, Giants Live. This one you buy here. If we can get like a concrete place where we know this event's going on, I can find out everything I need to know on this website. It's going to be streamed here. That'll be a huge thing for Strongman. And yeah, it was a great event. Of course, you know, the top 3 qualify for World's Strongest Man and in 2019, which I've heard some rumors of where it's going to be. And it won't be, if that's true, but these things change, it won't be in a remote location. Be a lot more accessible, especially if, I don't even know what I can say. I think that's all I'll say. If you want to know more, breaking news on that, be sure to hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. If you want to support me, go to patreon.com/startingstrongman. Of course, check out the stuff that's going on at officialstrongman.com. I think it's some good stuff overall. It could be good for the sport. And thanks for watching, and good luck in your training, and I'll talk to you next time there's something to talk about.